open source projects.
I love
and
it. Okay.
Its possibilities.
I'm excited. Yes. So how do you want to start this one?
Well, we could start with one of the most popular. I think it's the most popular
Yeah.
open source things.
Uh-huh.
Probably, Linux.
Oh yeah.
Probably. I'm guessing. I
Uh-huh.
don't know. I have not researched this.
That's okay. That's all right.
So Linux is really great.
It is.
I mean, and then you could even make your own copyrighted version of Linux.
Yeah, you could make your own. Now in Linux they call it a distribution.
Yep.
But it's an operating system, right? So yeah, it's so neat to think like you can build on top of Linux. You
Yep.
can make your own distribution.
Yep, and your own
Yeah.
thing could be your own closed source thing, or it could be open source as well.
Exactly.
It's up to you.
And I love that. Yeah.
Did you know the original well, at least the PlayStation 2 and
Yeah.
3 were Linux based?
Really? Amazing. See, Linux is
I'm
everywhere,
not sure
people.
if the PlayStation 1 was, and I don't know if the PS4 or 5 are. I know the PS2 and 3 were.
2 and 3. That's cool.
Because not only that, you could also install your own Linux onto those operating systems.
yeah.
For the PS2, you needed a Linux disk, which
Uh-huh.
they made for it, or if you hacked the system or whatever. And the PS3, originally when it launched, you could just natively install your own OS onto it.
That's crazy.
I mean, they ended up patching it for security reasons or whatever.
For those of you who may not know what Linux is...
And that's what allowed the
Yeah.
government to create a super PS3.
Oh, did they actually?
Supercomputer, yeah.
Interesting.
It turns out there was two. One was made for the NASA, and the other one for the United States Air Force.
Neat.
One being larger than the other, but...
Open source is where it's at, man. I'm telling you.
Anyways, but Linux is...
Yes,
one
I
of the
highly
best things
recommend. People, you definitely, if you don't know what Linux is, 100% look it up.
There's still a lot that needs improvement on it.
Oh yeah, big time, especially in the gaming world.
One of the biggest things is there's not that large of a community. If
Yeah.
there was a larger community, I think it'd actually help push this, make it better and bigger.
Agreed.
But again, we don't want it too large for certain reasons.
Yeah, yes.
There's pros and cons to joining every operating system.
Agreed.
One of the cool things right now, one pro is there's not a lot of viruses for it.
Nope.
But the more people that join it, obviously more programmers will develop them. So
Of course. But
that's the con. But
yeah, the state we're at right now, though, with Linux, it's looking up.
It's one of the safest operating systems.
Big time. One of the most stable that I have ever touched in my life.
Definitely very stable.
Yeah.
Great for media servers.
Oh yeah, big time.
Very great for it.
And can
very
run on
low power.
Oh yep, it runs on any old laptop, which
Yeah, well,
amazing.
almost any.
Almost any, yeah.
I mean, you could get an older build Linux off.
Hey, if Windows 11 doesn't work on your computer, people, just grab yourself a Linux distro.
Yeah,
It's
and it'll
worth it.
probably run a lot faster. Probably.
Probably.
Not
yeah.
guaranteed. Probably.
Probably, yeah. I agree.
But it runs faster than Windows 10, faster than 7, XP, Vista.
Crazy.
It runs a lot
It is.
faster.
And I know too.
And it's a great way to
yeah.
get use out of your old operating systems.
Yep, that too.
And it also could allow you to smartify your home with some old operating systems.
Yes. Use that old tech, instead of throwing it away, I guess.
And Android's also Linux based, right?
Yeah, I do. Unix. No, wait. Is it Unix based?
Linux is Unix based.
Yeah. Okay.
But Android is Linux based.
Okay, gotcha.
So technically, they're both Unix. If I remember correctly, I think Linux was Unix based.
Gotcha.
I think it was.
That's
I
cool.
could be wrong on that. But it is Linux based when I looked it up.
Cool.
And it's its own version of Linux, which is, and Android is also open source.
Yep.
But there's then there's the whole.
Then there's Pixel. Pixel kind of closed sources their stuff on. Well, no.
Pixel is Android still.
It is, yeah.
fundamentally. But the thing is with way it is on phones is anyone do it on phone or whatever. But when it's on a distributed, like a Samsung phone, a Nokia phone,
Okay.
which still exists, by the way.
I'm surprised.
Except they're smartphones.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're not as durable. I mean, they have a pretty durable one, though, but
Okay.
most of them aren't. And then there's the Pixels, whatever. They basically... That's why you can install any APK on your devices.
I used to do
because
that
of
all the
open
time.
source thing. But the thing with Android is something... If you want the Google Play Store on there...
Oh, yep. That's going to be a
You have to have these 8 applications on there, and you also have to have these certain features on your Android when you're building your Android phone or whatever. If you want all that on your device, there's a whole lot of things you have to do if you want to make it Android, which is one of the reasons why it's not. So, but it's one of the ways they avoid a lot of issues because Android is technically open source.
Yeah.
That's a big way for a company to avoid a lot of legal issues.
Yeah.
Open source
Open source it, people. Yeah.
But also keep some things closed source because, and then, like a lot of Google's things, like even Chrome is open source.
Yeah, with Chromium. Yeah.
However, the Chrome browser itself is closed source.
Of course, because Google.
But Chromium's open source, which is almost identical to Chrome.
Exactly, just without all the without it being Google-fied. Yes, Google-ified. Yes,
and it's still Google-fied, even though open source ones.
I know, it's scary.
And so even if you get like even Microsoft Edge is Chromium based, so it has all the same things. So
and, yeah, that's nice.
I mean, Microsoft might have removed some of the Google things, obviously being
because it's
Microsoft.
Yeah.
But regardless, and they both operate relatively the same.
Exactly. I'd say for best privacy, Firefox, great one.
Great one indeed.
Yeah. Opera, no.
Or
Opera, no. Brave.
I think Opera is Chromium based too.
Oh, okay.
I think it is. I know it used to not be, but
Probably.
there was a whole bunch of issues.
What about Brave?
I think it's a Chinese-owned company.
Opera?
I think.
I
don't know. I heard something bad about it.
I see.
I don't know. I think it's like tracking.
All right, stay away then.
I want to go towards Opera. I mean, you can if you want.
Yeah. But Firefox probably the safest.
Yeah, I think the best way is create your own, but that costs a lot of money. Yeah. So if you don't want to spend money, I think Firefox, to my knowledge, is the safest. It's not the most intuitive, but it's its own separate, completely original browser, and most websites.
Oh, actually, would you agree? Not Firefox being the safest, but the Epiphany browser in Linux. Do you think maybe that would be the safest? The Epiphany browser. Oh yeah,
I think so. And a lot of Linux builds, different distribution options will come pre-installed with Firefox.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them do. Because it's not open source, it's closed source. Mm-hmm. But with its very much better nature, because we don't know all that goes on with Firefox.
No. Yeah.
Which we know a lot more about what goes on in Chrome. But there's still a lot of concerns with Chrome.
And of course, if you have an Apple device, then you have Safari, which I would say is probably one of the best for browsers, I'd say.
Maybe. I don't know.
You don't trust Safari?
It's not Safari. I just don't trust Apple, okay?
Really? Okay.
Because Apple puts on this high-quality, clean image.
True.
But look at all the stuff they know about you. If you think about it, if you have an Apple device or whatever,
yeah,
they know a lot about you. They control a lot of the stuff you do.
They do, yeah, keeping you in that ecosystem.
So if you think about it, like, would you trust Safari?
I would okay, not as much as I would trust the Epiphany browser or Firefox. However, I trust it a million more times than Chrome.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, I trust it. Yes, simply because. So, I know this, Apple does not take, and I read an article on this, I'll have to find it again at some point, but it stated that using an Apple device on a daily basis versus using an Android device, more specifically a Google Pixel, they found that Pixel collects, I think, around 15 times more data than it does from an iPhone. I was like,
that is true.
That makes sense. But they're not perfect. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say Apple's perfect.
However, one thing that's good about, I guess, a Pixel or a Galaxy.
Yeah.
If you hack it, there isn't very many cons.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Which is one thing with an Apple device.
Yeah, trying to jailbreak an iPhone is.
If you jailbreak it, you lose a lot of things. You can't use a Apple App Store.
Nope.
I mean. Something's gonna change about that. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
But whereas if a Google device, there's still a way to get the Google Play Store running on there, or there's plenty of third-party alternatives.
Wasn't it true too that Apple will not repair your device if it is jailbroken? Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Yep. However, one good thing that's happened is that right to repair thing about them giving selling parts, which you might still be able to repair it. I don't know if they still software block it after you are a jailbroken. I don't know. I don't. Yeah. They even did something with their Air Mac or whatever.
Oh, really? Oh,
where if you upgraded the storage, it would stop working.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah.
Which I'm like,
They put like a...
it's storage.
Yeah.
It's easy to up... Why would you do... I mean, I know why you do that, but...
Yeah. Linux, man, I'm telling you. Linux.
Linux, you could... Yeah, Linux.
Yeah, Linux is like, you own that OS. Like,
and I think a lot more things need to be open source.
I agree.
Didn't you hear the smart home standard thing?
I did not. Tell
Matter?
me more. Oh, yes, I did hear about Matter.
I think it's open source, too. I think.
I heard that, yeah. I'm excited for that. So that's a step. That's a good step.
Every step in the right direction is great. There's always bad steps, too.
Yeah, for sure. But, yeah, just this open source stuff going. We're on to something. Here. So I encourage everyone listening, definitely check out open source
and
software.
I think right to repair goes right alongside with open source.
Yeah.
Because I think for the software side, it's open source. For hardware side, you need that right to repair to be able to repair your products.
Exactly.
Because I think that just plays a big role in that. I think you can't have one without the other. If you only have one of them, you're still not owning that thing.
Yeah.
If you have the other one, not the other, you're still not owning it. I think if you have both, you own the thing.
Makes sense.
Like, just think about a personal computer. Imagine if they hardware locked or whatever, or made it impossible to repair their pre-built computer or whatever, and made it where if you, again, well, Apple does this already, but if you wanted, if you bought the cheaper option, right? It's for your say you wanted a 500 gigabyte and you want to upgrade to like 4 terabytes.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy expensive.
Yeah,
crazy.
But say you could afford to get that upgrade, right?
Okay, for sure.
So you order the hard drive and you replace it just to find out it doesn't work because you don't own your hardware.
Yeah. Yes. I know
because
Apple...
I think every cell phone, you pretty much don't own anymore. You don't own technically a cell phone.
That's sad. I know that there's like...
You own a computer still, but they're working towards...
making that go away.
Ownership of computers.
I think there's a few Linux based phones
that aren't Android.
Exactly. So that's something, but no one cares about that. Everyone, it's either Apple or Android, right? Or sometimes Nokia, but not very often.
There's some open source Android projects though.
I'm trying to think.
I forget what it was called. I had a friend tell me what it was, and he has it on his phone. It's called like Android. What was it? Candy or something like that. It was something weird.
You know,
I don't remember what it was called.
Interesting.
But anyways, you would have to jailbreak most phones for it or whatever.
It's sad, yeah.
Which again, less consequences on Android than Apple, but there's still consequences, okay? But anyways, when you do it, it has an open source drawing app on it.
Okay.
Open source Word app on document thing on it.
True.
Open source store on it. Like all these open source things pre-installed on it.
I agree.
Where you can download whatever the heck you want.
Yeah, whatever you want. No.
And you could even become a developer for it or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is great. But it is open source. Now, however, it doesn't support every phone, and there's still a lot of testing for other phones.
Yeah.
And they stopped supporting phones over time because there's so many in the market to support.
Oh, gotcha.
And it takes people like you or me or whatever.
Yeah.
Doing that to their phones. I haven't done it to my phone, but it would take everyone doing it to their phones to keep the product alive for older and newer devices.
Yeah, for it to keep going. Now, real quick though, for our listeners who may not know what open source is, how would you describe open source?
However you want it.
Nice. Okay.
If I were to do one sentence, it's however the heck you want your product.
Yeah, I like it. Cool.
If you don't like a feature, you don't need it.
Nice.
If you like a feature, it's there.
You
can choose what you want. It's like if we were looking at something closed source that has something similar.
Yeah.
It's like plugins.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of like that, or on a server or whatever. You add these little add-ons to it to make it yours.
Okay.
That customizability, except you know everything that's going on. You could protect it. You could put your own security encryption on it if you are smart enough to do that. If not, you could always have someone else program your own security on it. It's your security. It's your device. If you don't want anything, you don't need to. If you want to keep your software out, you don't have to update your software every month. You don't have to worry about a prompt saying, it's time for you to update your device. Kind of like Windows, Android, iOS, etc. Saying you need to update your device. Or they'll auto-update it for you without control, patching maybe a cool glitch you found or whatever.
Yeah.
No, you stick on the version you want. You could have it to where it auto updates. For example, like there's Linux Mint or whatever, or Linux Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. Great Linux Mint. My personal favorite is Pop OS.
Yep.
Great. They have you can download for Pop OS. They have pre-made drivers depending on what graphics card you have. So it's a get out of the box and go.
Regardless of the one you go with.
Yeah.
You could have it where it auto updates. You could have it where it doesn't update at all. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to prompt you to, hey, this device is out of date. Go update it.
Exactly.
I mean, you could set it to do that if you really wanted to.
Yeah, it can remind you.
I don't think anyone wants it to.
No, yeah.
I think they'll either have auto update or not auto update.
Not only that, but the fact that you can customize any part of your desktop.
You can make it look like if you like Windows, you can make it look like Windows.
Yep.
If you like Mac, you make it look like Mac.
Yeah.
Whatever you like, you can do it. Because companies are removing customization over time.
Sadly, yeah.
Like if we look at like the oldest versions of like cell phones or computers, or even 10 years ago for things.
Yeah.
There's so much more customization. You can make your icons look how you want. You can make you can move your taskbar anywhere on the thing.
It's cool.
You could really edit things the way you like it. Nowadays, you kind of don't.
Yep.
There's you have very little control over your products, and there's this big push for subscription-based models, which means you don't even if it is closed source, you don't even get to choose what happens.
Nope. And you gotta. Yep. You will.
Kind of have to roll with the subscription.
Yep. As the saying goes, you will own nothing, and you will be happy. Yes, sir.
Or so they say.
Yeah, or so.
Because I'm not happy with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, right to repair and open source are the opposite of what this subscription model is.
Yeah, I agree. And
because you own it, you buy it once, you own it, or you download it once, you own it.
Yeah, you should.
Like Linux is free. You own it, you download it. With hardware, yes, you have to pay for the things or whatever. But what's cool about Linux is everyone knows the details of the code.
Yeah.
So when you put your own encryption on it, you only know that encryption. Mm-hmm. It's not some mega corporation that is relying on you for their next $50 or whatever.
Exactly.
Or to squeeze the next penny out of you. That's what they want to know.
I like it. And also, maybe for those who weren't aware, Linux, the icon for Linux is a penguin. I mean, honestly, you can't beat that. You can't beat it. Literally an icon of a penguin.
Pingu.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. So I think that's all we could probably go on and on about.
Oh yeah,
the greatness of open source. And Linux is the main one that comes to mind, but there are lots of things out there
for sure.
I definitely did not mention, but
do your own research on this. Yeah, check it out.
Open source.
Yeah.
And then same with right to repair. Look into that. There's a lot that needs to be done about that.
Big time.
But like, you could repair disk drives. And you know the PS5, right?
Yes.
Did you hear about the revision about having the all digital one, except it comes with a disk drive? That's
yes. Yeah.
Now the thing is, one of the reasons why I think they're doing this.
Okay.
First off, is to please retailers, or if you purchase a digital one, then you want physical, right?
Oh, makes sense.
Anyways, or transfer your game data or something like that. Anyways. Did you know a few years ago, in the U.S. at least, it was passed where you can repair your own disk drive.
Really? Wow.
And technically, you can't, or shouldn't. You won't void your warranty for future things built or whatever.
Okay.
So, if this drive thing happens, you just take off the disk drive, you repair it.
Oh.
Then you don't void your own warranty for repairing the drive, but also you could just buy a new replacement drive if you need to. It's something easy for.
I like it, dude.
That's my theory on it. I think it might be part of that law that was
hopefully.
passed. That might be pushing them. Oh, let's separate this. So people are all happy because we want that all digital future, but which I don't want. But
no, all digital's not. Yeah,
there's too many cons to it.
Agreed.
They could control everything, and then they could move all cloud based, all subscription based. Yeah, boom. So again, with that saying, you said, you own nothing, you rent everything, and you are happy.
Exactly.